welcome to the first edition of the BioCat Science Education Series. Today I am here with Dr. Sean Garvey, who is the Director of Research and Development for BioCat Enzymes. Thanks, Sean, for being here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Food intolerance is a big growth area in this industry, and I'd love to discuss that briefly, and for example, lactose intolerance. How do enzymes play a role in that subject?
Sure, so let's back up to just greater food intolerance. So the epidemiology is telling us that up to 15 to 20% of the population may suffer from some type of food intolerance or food sensitivity. Several foods and dietary ingredients are associated with food intolerance. These include dairy products that are high in lactose, beans or legumes that are rich in certain dietary fibers, and certain fruits and vegetables containing complex, undigestible carbohydrates that we call polysaccharides or oligosaccharides. And there is already some very compelling clinical science demonstrating that microbial enzyme supplementation can indeed lower the severity of gastrointestinal symptoms associated with food intolerances. And coming back to your question, lactose intolerance is a perfect example. So every cell in the human body contains a gene that encodes a protein called lactase. Lactase digests lactose. Lactose intolerance shows itself when lactose is not digested, not absorbed by the gut. Without lactase activity, that lactose then transits to the lower intestine, or the colon, where it is metabolized by microbes that naturally inhabit our gut. Gut microbial metabolism, or fermentation, produces gas, which often causes gastrointestinal symptoms. At BioCat, we also offer microbial lactase for multi-enzyme and multi-ingredient dietary supplement formulation to support digestive health.
On a related note, how do enzymes play a role in improving tolerance to dietary fiber, such as FODMAPs?
Sure. Fast on the heels of lactase clinical research was a separate enzyme called alpha-galactosidase. This is the microbial enzyme that's found in the supplement Beano. Alpha-galactosidase targets a type of carbohydrate called galactans. Galactans occur naturally in many vegetables and beans, and intriguingly, the human body does not release its own alpha-galactosidase into the human gut. Rather, some of our healthy microbes make and release alpha-galactosidase into the human gut. So, dietary galactans become food and fuel for some of our healthy gut microbes, along with some additional carbohydrates called FODMAPs. And intolerance to these FODMAP-type carbohydrates leads to gastrointestinal symptoms, especially for individuals suffering from irritable bowel syndrome. At BioCat, we are proud to offer several clinically substantiated FODMAP solutions, including microbial alpha-galactosidase and lactase.
How do enzymes play a role in improving tolerance of gluten?
Great. So another example of food intolerance is non-celiac gluten sensitivity. NCGS falls within this spectrum of gluten-related disorders that also include celiac disease and wheat allergy. Non-celiac gluten sensitivity is estimated to affect up to 13% of the population. NCGS describes individuals who do not have celiac disease yet still develop gastrointestinal symptoms after they consume cereal grains like wheat that contain high amounts of a protein called gluten. And people with NCGS typically feel better if they're able to switch to a gluten-free diet. But it is very difficult to follow a gluten-free diet. So BioCat offers a branded enzyme solution that we call Optizyme Gluteax. And Gluteax is a mixture of 4 proteases that has been shown to break down particular gluten peptides or gluten protein fragments that are traditionally known to be digestion resistant and thought to play a role in non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And in an elegantly designed placebo-controlled clinical crossover trial, 2 weeks of daily Gluteax consumption was able to reduce gastrointestinal symptoms associated with the consumption of daily challenge of gluten, specifically in participants with non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And the science continues today here at BioCat, where we're trying to figure out precisely how does Optizyme Gluteax promote the hydrolysis of these peptides that are resistant to digestion, such as the peptides from gluten proteins.
Thank you, Sean, for answering all of our questions. Your knowledge is invaluable.